Hey guys, David here. Today we're going to talk about the SAI commands in SheetXAI versus the chatbot. Kind of which one to use when, for what operation, and all of that is going to be super clear to you by the end of this video. Okay, so SAI commands are essentially what we're typing inside of cells. So here, let me show you an example of a SAI command. Right, so here, let's say I just want to create a campaign concept for this brand, this product category, and this target audience. All I would type is SAI array. And in this example here, as you can see, I typed hashtag SAI array. Hashtag SAI was to call SAI, was to pretty much say run this on all rows. And I typed my prompt. And after that, I typed the reference. That was the cells I'm referencing, which is I'm referencing this specific brand. But since this is going to run on all rows, each row is going to represent the A, B, C, and their row, right? And so this is very important when you're running something that's supposed to be personalized and unique to each row. And yeah, let me just show you exactly how this is going to go. So first, it's going to transform to this custom command loading, and in a few minutes, we're going to see it run on all rows. So as you can see here, it's running for each of the rows, and we can actually see exactly what's happening here. Right, so we're going to look at some of these answers just for you guys to kind of see difference. So, right, this is for athletes. This is for electronics. Right, so essentially this literally created some campaign concepts for every single one of these guys, right? Like the Adidas one, the Starbucks one, the L'Oreal one, everything. Right, so this is specifically what SAI commands are really good at, right? And if you're thinking, how do I make them? I mean, I have no idea. Well, in the chatbot, there is a SAI button right here that's gonna teach you exactly how to make them. There's a guide right here, and there's a generator where you can just type exactly what I typed, right? You could say, I wanna run on all rows, and I want to give me a campaign concept for, and I toggled multiple here because I want to talk about all three rows, right? A to C, right? And so it literally gives me the exact same thing that I just put earlier, right? And you could just copy that and insert it and do whatever you want with it, right? So that's exactly how to do the SAI commands. Now, on the other hand, let's say you have data like this and you want to turn it into a real table. So all you got to do is you just come here and you say put, and now you just wait for it to do magic. Boom. And as you can see, it's all done. So let's actually talk about it. What's the main difference between the two? So SAI commands are more for row-specific, personalized stuff, right? So that would be things that require the AI to focus on only that same row. And we've also seen that that actually helps when you're dealing with PDFs, right? Say you have 1,000 invoices that you want to add to a table that you made for each invoice. Instead of you to upload 1,000-page PDF to the chat, you could split this PDF into 1,000 different PDFs and then put each PDF in a separate row, which would allow SAI commands to be extremely accurate when getting the data from them. Now, on the other hand, the chatbot is more for batch operations, right? Think like sim pattern or mechanical. The way I like to think of it is if a robot can do it without looking at all of the data, then it can do it, right? Think of like a formula. If you think of a formula, the formula doesn't actually need to know what your data is about. It just operates on a set of certain rules, right? So if I say delete all blank rows, it's gonna delete all blank rows. If I say every time there's a word that says LLC, clear that row, that's a rule, right? And it's the same thing everywhere. It's like whenever there is any sort of batch operation or like a rule-based operation, then it's more than likely going to be a chatbot operation because it's going to happen to the entire sheet, right? Now, on the other hand, with SAI commands, right, they can only accept and return information, right? So they can only output to the cell where they're called. So what does that mean? That means you can't ask the SAI commands to create a graph because the graph is going to be in a cell. But you can ask the chatbot to create a graph, right? And we're going to see a few examples right now of all the different ways to kind of see it. But the best way I like to say it is, one, is it something that the AI has to read every single row in order to write the perfect answer? If yes, then it's more than likely going to be side commands, right? But if it's not, if it is mechanical, right, where the AI doesn't need to read every row in order to make things happen, it can use formulas, it can use code, it can use all types of things that don't necessarily require semantic understanding, then it's more than likely a chatbot operation, right? And I'm going to show you guys an example. So this example, analyzing customer feedback and categorize sentiment, that is definitely a side command example. So think of it this way. You have column A is full of all your customer reviews, and you want in column B to be able to type, to know which reviews are positive, which reviews are negative. You want the AI to read every single row, right? You don't want it to read it as a whole or anything. You want each row to get its own attention, and that's why you would use a side command. Now, for something like this, where it's like delete all blank rows, it's a simple rule. If the row is blank, it has to go, right? So for something like that, you would use the chatbot. Another one, write a personalized email for a list of recipients in column A. Now, for something like this, once again, each recipient needs attention, right? You wouldn't want a template. You would want an email that's very specific to that same recipient, right? So as a result, you would use side commands. Now for this, create a formula to extract domains from email. Creating formulas are very much better done by the chatbot, right? The chatbot can edit your sheet, it can manipulate your sheet, it could create new sheets, delete sheets. It could do everything that a human can do with your sheet. The side commands can only return information. Creating a formula, it would return the formula if you ask it, but the only thing about the side commands return the formula, it's not actually applying the formula, versus the chatbot would apply it, edit it, do all types of things. So let's say you want to create videos, because as you guys know, you could create videos, images, audio, speech to text, text to speech, all types of things with SheetXAI. If you wanted to do that, which one would you use? Side commands. Once again, and why side commands? Because of the fact that they look at each row and they create something for that row specifically, right? So everything, any sort of multimodal thing, it's purely done with side commands. How about something like format all dates to XYZ, right? So formatting dates, formatting dollar signs, or removing formatting, or coloring rows, all these things, once again, chatbot, 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 chatbot. So how about this one? Creating ad copy tailored to each product's features. Another example of side command. Once again, because each product needs special attention. So how about, what if you want to split a sheet into multiple sheets by category, right? Once again, if you have the list of categories and it's just a pure keyword-based thing, then chatbot. If you don't have the categories yet, then you would use a side command to, I guess, look at each row and put it in a category. Now you have a list of categories. Then you could go to the chatbot and say, there's only 5 categories. There's either category A, category B, and each category is written in column B. So the AI can just decide, if column B says category B, then it's got to go to another sheet, right? So essentially, that's the thing, is it's mechanical. It's like a robot, right? And that's what the chatbot is really good at. Versus the side commands is like a human listening to you, reading, answering. How about something like this, where you want to score leads based on multiple criteria in their row? Side commands. Once again, and the reason why, once again, is each row needs its own support. Okay, so now we're gonna speed through, right? So we got generating a pivot table, that's a chatbot. Row by row qualitative analysis, so that's lead scores, customer sentiment, all that stuff that requires the AI reading each row is side command, right? Compare that to something like a comprehensive analysis of the whole sheet. To do a comprehensive analysis of the whole sheet, the AI more than likely doesn't need to see every row. It can run formulas, it could run calculations, it could create graphs, right? It doesn't have to read that row Z22 is the number 2, right? It can just run a calculation that's gonna figure that formula out. That's gonna make an analysis of the entire thing, right? So that's what the chatbot is for. So that's it. I really hope you guys got a really good idea now of when to use the chatbot and when to use side commands. Just to remind you, If it's something that the AI needs to read each row carefully, then it's side command. If it's something that can be mechanical, that can be applied to multiple rows, the AI doesn't have to read the row. It just has to know a certain rule, or it's anything that has to do with manipulating the sheet, changing colors, data cleaning, all these things, then the chatbot is better, right? And same thing with our integrations, right? Certain integrations like the video, image, audio generation integrations, they're all row by row specific, right? Versus other integrations like importing stuff from WordPress or any of those type of integrations are for the entire sheet. That's what the chatbot is good for. So that's it. That's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys are loving SheetXAI. Thank you.